Facebook, it's Derrick Grace 2, TWO. And really quickly, I'd like to play, because you guys may not know who he is by name, but I'm going to play this clip really quickly because you will know him as soon as you hear this.
What is nepotism?
Give family and friends a job.
Derrick Grace, what is gentrification?
Renovate and improve so that it fits in the middle class taste.
Derrick Grace, what do men do?
Preach, provide, protect.
What is the strongest muscle on your body?
Brain.
I want you to be what in the room?
Wisest.
Derrick, what's the most valuable thing in life?
Time.
Derrick, if you lost everything today, what you got tomorrow?
Intellectual property.
And what is intellectual property?
Can't take your possessions, but you can't take your mind.
All right, Derrick, who's Sleepy Newton?
African-American political activist, revolutionary, who along with Bobby Seale, co-founded the Black Panther Party in 1966.
How old are you?
4 years old.
What's 700 plus 700?
1,400.
Are y'all buyers or sellers?
Sellers.
The goal is to be what?
Independent.
Y'all gonna be what when y'all grow up?
Bosses.
But in order to do that, we gotta do what?
Create stuff.
Listen, y'all, in a nutshell, the name of the game is Unlearn and Relearn. Reprogram these children. We need more leaders. We got enough followers.
How do you suggest to a parent, for those who are just now checking in, we're currently on the line with Derrick Grace, and you may not know him by name, but I know you definitely have seen that video on Facebook, Instagram, or otherwise. How, Derrick, would you suggest a working parent, a 9-to-5, who doesn't have that drive or that ability or the financial freedom to leave work and say, I'm going to homeschool my child, or even, I found a homeschool in the city that's going to homeschool my child? How do you suggest that we still, instill those homeschool values into our children when we have work, when we have a quote unquote social life, when we have soccer, when we have baseball, football? We don't have time, Derrick. How do you suggest we at least start?
I think where to start, and that's a great question, because I had to tell people how to do this with myself. But I think the start is really just being analytical, and even if you need to, just take like a regular week and just start analyzing, the things you indulge in, the things you give time, and from that process, just start weeding out things that don't provide anything to your betterment or your happiness. And that's what I really had to do, is like speaking to certain people, hanging out with certain people, just idle time periodically. Basically, it was not conducive, like I said, it was not conducive to the betterment of us, and we have to rid ourselves. And I tell people this all the time when trying to reach another level mentally or make time for priorities. We really have to detach ourselves from things where, like, I'm going on almost 5 years now with no cable in my house. I'm just really not into television, and I try to do that same thing with the kids. But that's what really helped me to begin, because I remember with a retail business and running it by myself, that's a lot of work in the mentorship. But I just had to sit back and be like, you know what, I got to weed out the things that aren't really necessities. And that's what I started doing. Like, what television was already out, but socializing with certain people, going to certain places, even down to the kids. Like, they're of course, they have no cable, like I said. Just really just trying to find organic things to fill their minds with, and two, just to rid myself of anything that's not conducive to us growing or being happy. So, I mean, like a lot of times I hear parents go, oh, I need me time. And I'm just a firm believer, like, you're a parent now, there's no me time. Or certain outings, and people go, well, man, the kid's not allowed to go. And my motto, I tell you all the time on Instagram, like, if my kids can't go, then I can't go. It's really that simple. Like, I'm just overly dedicated to spending time with them, because I understand time is the most valuable thing in life. You can't rewind it, can't freeze it, can't pause it. So I'm always big on my time. But really, just step one for us that that don't have the financial abundance to walk away and go, I'm going to solely dedicate myself, is just being analytical, being very precise about what you give time to. I mean, a lot of people don't notice it, but I mean, I know a lot of people, when they get up, they just like to go home and sit down and unwind for a little. Like, that's precious time that we can be, building and empowering our children. So that's what I really, honestly, like, I really had to be obsessive with my time. I really had to get a piece of paper, because a lot of times, a lot of things are habits. We do it so often that we become oblivious to how time consuming it is. So like I said, it may help to write it out, but I had to do that myself. Like, okay, what am I doing with this 24-hour day? I'm sleeping only 5 hours. and the other 19, you know, how pretty am I? And that's really how I broke it down from the jump, is just weeding out things that, if it didn't help me be a better dad, or if it didn't help me to be a better businessman, a better person, I'm getting rid of it. And if it didn't have anything to do with my children, I'm definitely getting rid of it. And we found a lot one time, like, you know, just a quick example. We have been a little off schedule as of the last month because the things have been going very fast as of late. But my regimen is, I like to get up. I like to get him to do 15 to 20 minutes of yoga. I like to read for at least 10 minutes. We exchange positive words. We all got to say something nice about each other. And then we'll go out into, I got a little mini garden going. I got my watermelons going, but hurricane season came through recently. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. But, and then we'll go out in the garden, play out there for a little bit, water the flowers, and then we officially start our day. But I mean, I tell you all the time, like, it's not going to kill us to break an hour of sleep. These are the kind of sacrifices, especially if we don't have that room to just walk away and leave it. These are the sacrifices we got to make. Break some sleep. Cut that TV off. Tell your friends, you know, I'll holler at you later, but I got very important, you know, and special things that I need to do for the betterment of myself and my children. But step one is just pretty much detaching yourself from things of the world. I tell you all the time, you're not going to be anything bigger than the world if you're caught up in the things of it. You got to be able to detach, and you got to be able to, one, focus on self, and definitely focus on those babies.
Hold on, I need you to say that last part again. You can't, what is it? You can't be bigger than the world if you're stuck in it. Well, say that part again. Yeah.
You can't expect to be anything bigger than the world if you're still stuck to the things of it. Pretty much, if you're still caught up in, how do I say it? Just caught up in traditionalism or caught up in normalcy. Like, hey man, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna watch the TV, I'm gonna talk to my girls, I'm gonna hang with my boys a little bit, you know, kiss the kids good night, and go to bed. We have to break those traditional cycles. And, you know, just start, like I said, just focusing on the betterment of us. So we're not going to be anything bigger than this place if we're still attached to the things of it. Because these things are coming from apps, social media, television, internet, just socialism, period, and all the things within socialism. But we got to be able to detach from those things. Otherwise, if we're caught up in it, we're never going to outgrow it.
If we're caught up in it, we're never going to outgrow it. We have to, your hashtag is Unlearn to Relearn. What is one of the first things you believe that we need to unlearn?
Man, I have so many. One of the first things you need to unlearn. I think a lot of us are not born with it, but we're coached to have a spirit of dependence. That is one of the ultimate, and I learned that with the ordeal that I went through with that job, that I really, really was trained to believe I needed these people to live a fruitful life. That's one of the biggest things we have to unlearn and relearn. We have to understand that we got to unlearn and relearn that education starts at home. We have to stop being dependent on strangers to just solely give our kids all the game they're going to need in life. And then, I mean, it's people, like I said, people not analytical. Just use logic. We send them to these strangers, because they're strangers. I mean, depending on if they're in elementary or middle school or high school, some people have one instructor, some people have several, but we send them to this room full of strangers, and they have the majority of the bulk of the child's time, and then when they get home, you know, we have a more minor piece of the time. Logically, as a parent, that's backwards. Like, I'm your parent, I'm your provider. I assisted with another person in bringing you here. So why would I give the bulk of the responsibility to educate you and you know, and cultivate your mind to a stranger? And that's how I look at it. Like, man, we gotta stop believing that, man, I just gotta have that piece of paper from these people to live a fruitful life, or the only way I'm gonna make it up in the world is I gotta get an opportunity from a stranger. Or like I said, with the original one, it's just the spirit of dependence. Like, I don't know why this. I don't know where it came in, but I know it came in because I dealt with it as well. I had a spirit of dependence, sort of like, okay, man, you know, I'm following my dad's footsteps. I'm gonna get this job. You know, I'm gonna retire when I'm 43. And it's a lot. I tell you all the time, we all got gifts, purpose, and talent, but a lot of us won't tap into them because we have been subconsciously convinced that that's not gonna work. You need John and Rob to give you this opportunity to advance. There is no way that you, little old you, can just create opportunity yourself, you know, and go make it happen. And that's one of my biggest mottos. We got to stop chasing opportunity and just create them. I feel like independence is one of the biggest freedoms that we need and we must capture. But those are two of my biggest things with the unlearn and relearn.
So many of us don't understand that we have gifts. Many of us don't understand that we have talents, and we do feel, and we're told, Derrick, we're told that we need to go to school, get a good job, and get a job with benefits. This is what we're told. Like these are the steps in which make you an adult. And if you're out here being an entrepreneur, selling t-shirts, you want to, whatever it is that you want to do as far as business is concerned, like, you're kind of wasting your time. Get a job, because there's good money out here and you're missing out on it. So for those that are stuck in that monotonous of life, like, how do you even get out of that? Again, your father was in law enforcement, your grandfather was in law enforcement, so I can only imagine that they believed that that was going to trickle down into you, and you were going to also be in law enforcement and have a good job and have those benefits, but that's not the way that it worked out. So how do you battle your family? How do you say, listen, what I want to do is my heart's passion? First of all, how do you figure out what your heart's passion is? And then how do you combat your family that is telling you, well, because not all of us are going to go out and get face tattoos, baby, but how do you suggest, from your point of view, do you A, find your passion, your talent, and then 2, tackle your family and have them support you rather than question you?
Well, number one with the passion, I tell people all the time, and like I said, we have to be analytical. We got to be able to step back. We got to be able to freeze the situation at all times and be analytical and just think. Typically, whatever you do on a consistent basis that you don't get paid for, a lot of times that's your passion. And to a lot of people, they're like, man, I don't do much. I work and then I just talk to my friend all day. I run my mouth all day. And I'm like, listen, well, you may have a passion for customer service. You may have a passion for speaking to people. Like it's so many levels to it, so many breakdowns there. But that's what I really tell people, like, man, whatever you can do consistently and you okay with not being paid for it, that's something you genuinely like and probably love. That is something that you like it so much, it hasn't even crossed your mind at how time consuming it is because you're so into it. And whatever that is, that's typically your passion. Now the goal after that is to find out how can you make it a fruitful passion, and how can you make it a passion that pretty much matures into something that you're able to be compensated for. And that was my biggest thing when I started with fashion. I like fashion. So just a quick story. I had a friend of mine who had an aunt who worked within Nike and Jordan. And the first thing I thought, I'm like, man, nobody's gonna support, just a brand that popped out of nowhere, guy from Tampa with these t-shirts. So I'm struggling, and to be honest with everybody, it took me 9 months of day in and day out nonstop work to get my first transaction. Like, it was a real mental and physical struggle. I went broke.
Hold on, it took you 9 months to sell a t-shirt?
It took me 9 months to sell a t-shirt. Nobody would not support my t-shirt. I mean, absolutely nobody. And the first person that did, me and her actually have a personal relationship to this day, because I'm very grateful, because she, I was on the brink of quitting. It's 9 months. It's just like a 9 month, 20-day hour internship. You're not getting nothing, but you're putting in all this work. So it took us from February 2012 all the way to September 13th, I believe, or 11th, one of those. But the first thing I thought is like, man, nobody's gonna support this. And I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna incorporate shoes. I'm gonna make it and I dabbled and dabbled in several things in the streets before I got into the blue collar field. And my brother, who's doing 15 years currently, he taught me a lot of things from things that he was doing in the street. First thing I thought, I'm like, you know what? This is why it's not working. I haven't really built the interest level. I'm going to do a 2-for-1. I'm going to start selling shoes and then incorporate a free shirt every time somebody buys a shoe. In the course of 4 months, that idea had manifested so well that people began to start buying shirts by themselves. Like, the brand had actually picked up and started rolling. So that's really how, I had the ideal of what I like to do. I love fashion, so let me get into shirts. And then following that, you got to put in that due diligence. You got to put in those long nights. You got to put in that sacrifice, that will. You got to, you're gonna have to neglect a lot of other things, a lot of idle time, even a lot of relationships, like things are gonna break down just to build themselves back up. So that was number one with me, like just telling people, think about what it is you do day to day. It's something that we all do. I mean, we all have vices. It's things that we do consistently that subconsciously we doing so much we don't even know we're doing. That's typically your passion. That's typically your talent. I mean, and some of us outright know our talents. We're just afraid to, go ahead and tap into it. And then, for question number two, as far as the family, honestly, it's unfortunate. But I've learned even with my retail business and even to my mentorship, because I'm approaching year 5 for the mentorship. The saying a lot of times holds very true that your inside is not going to support you for the outside does. And like July 23rd will be my 4th back to school giveaway. To this day, nobody in this city has supported. Even though I understand, like my children are homeschooled, they don't need the supplies. Like we're okay. We have a whole little school set up in there. But I do this, for the other babies in Tampa that got to deal that got to go to public school and things of that nature. But even to this day, I'm still understanding that even when it comes to the family, the friends, or your surroundings, a lot of times they're not going to ride for you until they see Joe Blow on the other side of the nation tweet your picture and go, man, this guy's the truth. Yada yada. Even like now, the mentorship in the city is starting to get a lot of attention now because that video went viral. But as far as the family, I'll tell people that use it as fuel. A lot of them, like I said, and it's not that they don't really believe in us, they're scared. This is taboo. They've only seen us on TV. Entrepreneurs and independents, to them only exist in movies. Like they only make it in movies, they only make it on TV. So this is foreign to them. And just really, as I said, just use it as fuel. The doubt they're gonna give you, the closed doors. The times when you call them and say, hey man, I got this little thing I got going on, it's only $10, can you support it? And they give you 8 million excuses. Just use it as fuel.
Use it as fuel.
9 times out of 10, you stay down, you stay consistent, and you keep the mission in mind. They're gonna come around. They're almost gonna be forced to come around. And like I said, it's really sad, but a lot of times, like they're gonna be at work that one day, and somebody will say, man, you heard about so and so, man? I just bought something from them. They doing their thing. And then that's when you'll get that phone call and they're like, hey man, I've been dying to support. I've been with you since day one. I still deal with it to this day, but I would say for the person that's out there on that mission, use it as fuel. Those doubts, those no's, those I ain't got it right now, get back to you. Man, I wish I could. All the excuses that the people closer to you are going to give you when it comes time to support. Just use it as your fuel to keep going.
For those who don't know, we're currently on the line with Derrick Grace. Again, I'm going to play the video. If you don't know, now you know. Derrick Grace, Unlearn and Relearn. He's in the car with his babies talking about, education. The video went viral and he has a mentorship program. He lives in Tampa. He's homeschooling his kids. So I'm going to go ahead and play this because you might not know Derrick Grace by name, but I know you definitely know his tatted up face, the tatted mentor hashtag. Go ahead and search him up. But listen to this.
Nepotism.
Give your family and friends a job.
Derrick Grace, what is gentrification?
Renovate and improve so that it fits in the middle class taste.
Derrick Grace, what do men do?
Preach, provide, protect.
What is the strongest muscle on your body?
Brain.
I want you to be what in the room?
Wisest.
Derrick, what's the most valuable thing in life?
Time.
Derrick, if you lost everything today, what you got tomorrow?
Intellectual property.
And what is intellectual property?
Can't take your possessions, but you can't take your mind.
All right, Derrick, who's who you been doing?
African-American political activist, revolutionary who, along with Bobby Seale, co-founded the Black Panther Party in 1966.
Okay, how old are you?
4 years old.
What's 700 plus 700?
1,400.
Are y'all buyers or sellers?
Sellers.
The goal is to be what?
Independent.
Y'all gonna be what when y'all grow up?
Bosses.
But in order to do that, we gotta do what?
Create stuff.
It's Grace, what is nepotism?
Give your family and friends a job.
Derrick Grace, what is gentrification?
Renovate and improve so that it fits in the middle class taste.
Derrick Grace, what do men do?
Preach, provide, protect.
What is the strongest muscle on your body?
Brain.
I want you to be what in the room?
Wisest.
Derrick, what's the most valuable thing in life?
Time.
Derrick, if you lost everything today, what you got tomorrow?
Intellectual property.
And what is intellectual property?
Can't take your possessions, but you can't take your mind.
All right, Derrick, who's who you been doing?
African-American political activist, revolutionary who, along with Bobby Seale, co-founded the Black Panther Party in 1966.
Okay, how old are you?
4 years old.
What's 700 plus 700?
$1,400.
Are y'all buyers or sellers?
Sellers.
The goal is to be what?
Independent.
Y'all gonna be what when y'all grow up?
Bosses.
But in order to do that, we gotta do what?
Create stuff.
Listen, y'all, in a nutshell, the name of the game is Unlearn and Relearn. Reprogram these children. We need more leaders. We got enough followers.
We need more leaders. We got enough followers. That is Derrick Grace. He is currently on the line. I want to give a really quick shout out to our sponsors. ZC Boston is at 801 Mass Ave. Half price sushi on the weekends. Buck a shuck for the first dozen. 3 mile radius. Free delivery until 1 a.m. And that goes all the way up Blue Hill Ave until it coincides with Columbia Road. And it's free parking. 2 hours for lunch, 3 hours for dinner. Do not forget they are open until 2 a.m. every day of the week. Some of the best food here in Boston, and they're located right in Roxbury across from BMC. And Faith's Natural Beauty, Faith's with an S, natural with an S, beauty.com. The detox wash, the hair milk. You see these curls? This is all Faith's Natural. For those that are watching and for those that are listening, go ahead and go on to YouTube. She has hair milk, the summer scrub called Good Rising. I'm so excited, and it smells amazing, and it feels great. And the charcoal teeth whitener. Please stop using fluoride infused toothpaste. Get you some charcoal teeth whitener. Faith has it. It's on her website. Faith's with an S, natural with an S. Beauty.com. And do not forget Ralph's on Dorchester Ave on Washington Street across from the Dorchester Courthouse. He has the best saltfish and ackee, and it is right in between the two. Saltfish and ackee. Not ackee and saltfish, not saltfish with no ackee. It's the best of both worlds, and his porridge is amazing. We're currently on the line with Derrick Grace, Unlearn and Relearn. Derrick, what are some of the fundamental, foundational principles, other than what we've heard in the video that you teach your children, that we that don't have time to homeschool need to start thinking about and need to start teaching as well?
Okay, when it comes to our one-on-one settings, I focus on 3 things with the kids. Number 1 is heritage, hence why you're gonna hear Huey, Feeney, Martin, Malcolm, Nat Turner, things of that nature. Number 2 is my current plight as their father. Hence why you're gonna hear nepotism and things of that nature, because that's something that really rocked our house. I really, learned how nepotism worked when I was in the workforce, and I saw people that had made the same violations they stated I made, or even worse. But they were protected, or just they simply look out for each other. So current plight is number 2. And number 3 is the future plight,
Heritage,
which in other videos you hear them speak on inflation. And I feel like inflation is one that's like one of my biggest ones. I think a lot of us have done it. We've been with grandma, auntie, mom, whatever the case may be. She's in the store and she goes, "Man, it used to be $5 back in my day. It's 30 now." And a lot of times, we pay that on never mind. We blow it off. We just laugh about it. But people don't understand that. She's unknowingly dropping a jewel on you. She's reminding you that you definitely must prepare for the future. You must build foundations. You must be, self-sufficient, because inflation is real. It's really simple that $100 grand right now is going to have the same buying power as $55 grand in 2036. I don't plan on going anywhere soon. So these are things that this is the kind of knowledge I have to impute into the children, that we have to be like. And just on topic real quick, they go out every weekend. They have a lemonade stand. I posted that as well. But I actually make them, they have to get up and go hustle as well outside of the education. But I'm really big on, them building foundations. Derrick is actually about to start it's going to be geared towards glam, but she really likes cosmetics, not for herself. Because I had to cut her grandma let her put on makeup, lipstick, all kinds of stuff. I had to cut that out. But she's actually going to be starting a business soon geared towards that. And Derrick wants to, he came with it himself. He wants to actually create light bulbs. So we're actually working on that as well. How he can make customizable light bulbs, for kids his age, or whoever may need a light bulb for that matter. But that's one of my biggest things is just heritage, my plight as your dad, what I'm dealing with to make sure you have a fruitful life as a child, and what you're going to deal with to make sure you have a fruitful life as an adult. And all of our opinions may differ in those categories, what's important to us, what's not. But those are my three deciding factors when we sit down and we have our conversations daily and weekly. That's outside of homeschool, that's like part of our in-home personal curriculum. These are the things that I feel like you have to be knowledgeable about.
And repeat those three for us again.
So number one, number one is heritage. Hence why we have information on Nat Turner. We have information on Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington. Number two is my current plight. Like, what am I dealing with as a man and a father to help you guys? This is pretty much me talking to them. So that's why I tell them how real nepotism is. Because Daddy dealt with nepotism. Nepotism, affected our whole livelihood. Daddy had to struggle for a while. Daddy was broke for a long time because of nepotism and how those systems work and how they take care of who they like. And then number three is future plight. Pretty much heritage, what Daddy is dealing with, and what you're going to deal with when you and Daddy not switch places, but when you hit your peak as a grown man or a grown woman. You have to understand, times are evolving, prices are rising. So if you're not, pretty much if you don't have foundations outside, and it goes on both boards, but entrepreneurs, people who work, if you don't have foundations working out on the side or working completely, then you may find yourself, and which is totally reverse, and to me it's not logical, you're going to find yourself at a later age working harder. So you're going to be 50, grinding like you're 18 to still live like you're 20 because times are evolving. But that person that you're waiting on an opportunity from, he's not hitting you off with, with enough pay raises and increases to help you even keep up with time. So you're going to find yourself, man, I'm 48 with 3 jobs. 18, I had 1 job. Why is that? And that's because, the cost of living is on the rise yearly, daily, all the time. So heritage, my plight, and their plight.
Let me ask you really quickly about religion. What kind of religion do you and your children practice?
Oh, that's a good one. It's actually July. This month makes a year that I stepped away from religion. I went through a long phase last year of just researching, asking questions, just politicking with different people, with pastors, just things of that nature, and just going back and forth in my mind and questioning a lot of things. I'm not gonna say all religions because I'm not familiar with all of them, but a lot of the most popular ones, I do believe in a lot of their principles. I'm so much not caught up in the book aspect or the stories that are within those books. They don't really lock me in. But me personally, I stepped away last July, and following that, I just really make it my business to wake up every day, be a better person than I was yesterday, and also one of my biggest things is I just want to leave a peaceful, happy, and prosperous impact on any human that I come in contact with. And that's really my agenda, just spreading love. If people follow me on Instagram, they'll see every day I get up and I like to start the day off on the pot, no matter what's going on. Like, positive programming is one of my biggest things. So that's really my goal. I'm not so much into religion, but I just want to work on being a better man,
Positive
a better
programming.
father, a better human than I was the day before, and I want to leave a great impact. If I bump into you at a restaurant, I want you to be able to say, man, that guy said something that helped me, or he just had a great energy, a great spirit, a great vibe about him. So yeah, no religion for me.
No religion, but I at least want to wake up and give the best of who I am. We currently have a caller on the line, and if anybody else has any questions, please give us a call, 617-282-0062. We are coming to the top of the hour, but we do have time to take questions. Again, the number is 617-282-0062. Good rise and caller, you're live. Shut your radio off for me, baby.
Yeah, I shut it off. And listen, I love this guy, Killer. I just want one thing. I want that curriculum. How do I get a hold of that curriculum?
How do we get a hold of the curriculum, Derrick?
The best thing we'll do, because I'm actually August 1st, I'm kicking off a online Unlearn, Relearn program, strictly for the babies, because that's my priority. So if you can check me out, actually even if you don't have social media, you go directly to my website. I have details up about it. I'm going to be posting more details in the coming weeks. It officially kicked off August 1st, but the website is milleybound.com. It's AMILLIBOUND.com. And if you have social media, it's in all my bio, so you can just go directly to it. But August 1st, I'm going to be kicking it's going to be a 3-month curriculum. Weekly, just strictly just empowering our babies, enlightening our babies, and trying to give them what I feel they're missing in the educational system.
So I'm looking at the website now, and you have quite a few things on here. Fear is nothing more than an illusion. Maximize your potential, or someone will for you. Get up, focus up, and get active. What are these books? Are these blogs? What are these? Be honest with yourself and them. Don't be moved by worldly things. It's a must we return and maintain this mentality. What's going on with your website, and what other information can we find here?
Okay, on that specific section that you're speaking on, that's more of a blog. That's me kicking out a daily message, to anybody that's logging on, and just really trying to provoke thought. That's one of my biggest things. I understand I'm not really here to change everybody's perspective, but I want to provoke thought. I want to open up your mind to a new level that it may not hit. So that specific section that you're in, that's exactly what it is. More so of a blog for us to communicate. People can drop comments. Outside of that, I have the tour dates for the speaking engagement where I'm going to be heading next. Also, I have both of my posts on there. They're available on the website and Amazon. Book number 1, 2014, I was thank God we don't like what we've been through. Book number 2 was God's Amongst Men, 355 routes to Supreme Being. That one actually just went number 1 on Amazon 2 to 3 weeks ago. And outside of that, all my video, because I have a YouTube channel, but I try to compile everything to make it easier as well. So there's actually a video section as well where there's not just, paragraph quotes or a blog where people can actually, we can actually not interact when you're watching my video, but, they can get a feel for where I'm going, what direction I'm going, and they get like a 10 to 15 minute video or spill on everything that I touch on.
So again, it is AMILLIBOUND, AMILLIBOUND.com. Head over to the books, news, and videos, and you'll find a few things there. Found as far as God's Amongst Man. Is that what that is? God is amongst man. And God's Amongst Men, 365 Routes to Supreme Being. And there's also a digital copy as well. So if you do not want or wish to purchase the book, you can get the digital copy. It is $5. No excuses, baby. There's no reason why we can't support. We currently have another call on the line, 617-282-0062. You are live with Derrick Grace.
Derrick, good morning, Tayla, as well. Hello?
Yeah, good rising. We're here.
Yes. I had a question. I really appreciate the brothers this morning. He said one thing that really jazzed me, when he's saying that a lot of people are just wasting their life, wasting their time, not keeping up with the real time, which is therefore when you turn 50, you're going to pay for it. I appreciate what you said, brother, because I've been fighting for this thing for so long in this radio station to tell them a bunch of our youngsters that stand in the corners, get a freaking life, go get a job, because it's going to hurt you. As you could see, your neighborhood is changing, but they don't realize, they don't feel it.
He gets on my last nerves because he act like we don't, that's the problem that I have with this radio station. That's the problem that I have with him, that he don't never talk about when we do. We talk about positive things all the time. He makes me want to get on a soapbox.
Love you coming in on here this morning. That just showing me that we have one brother that's waking up. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good luck on your business, man.
I thank you. And that's one of the biggest things a quick spill, that's one of the biggest things I touch on. And Derrick touches on that gentrification. It's a lot of us that are out here dying and going to jail and just fighting for neighborhoods that we don't own. We're not even making a progressive plan to own. And we're tattooing these things and going to jail for it. And when we get home, they gentrified our grandmother and she's not even there no more. So I definitely feel what you're saying. We have so many misguided soldiers. We have so much buying power. We have so much grit and just intellect. but we just dilute it with things of the world. That's why I said we must detach. We definitely have to detach and focus on what's really going on out here.
Derrick, there is so much going on in these communities, in these streets, as far as the killings and the murders that are recently taking place and have been for years. It's just more publicized now. How do you teach your children, or how do you speak to them on these topics about violence, about race, about the anger and the hatred that we see out here in this world? How do you shelter them yet inform them?
My biggest thing, and I get a lot of flack for it, but I am extremely transparent. Even to my times of struggle, from depression to being reliant on drugs to get by, all those things, I am 100% transparent with my children. So I think that's one of the biggest things about it. We have to stop lying to these babies. And I actually just posted on the chat that we got to stop telling them that Ronald McDonald is good for them. We got to stop telling them it's okay to, brush your teeth and drink fluoride water. We got to stop, ourselves being oblivious and making them oblivious to the dangers that are awaiting them outside. So that's and that's another thing that's going to be in my Unlearn and Relearn program, because as parents, we have to be honest. So I think with that dialogue, I'm very open. I'm honest, even to everything I've dealt with. Just a quick note, I had a shooting in 2014 that was later cleared self-defense, but my daughter was sitting next to me in my vehicle when that took place. So those are the things that actually, it was a traumatic time, but it actually helped because she crossed a certain threshold where even at 5, me and her can really, we can have an intellectual conversation, and she understands it. And they understand that they have to take heed and they have to walk light out here and be extremely careful, because it's a jungle out there. Not only for myself, but even in the child world, it's a jungle. It's a lot going on out there.
Derrick Grace, you can find him, Derrick Grace 2 TWO. Derrick, any last words since we've come to the top of the hour? Anything that you would like to share with the listeners that we haven't covered already?
Yes. One, I want to say I appreciate you. I really enjoyed this interview. And to everybody listening, I just got one question, before we hop on. If I made you aware right now that you were going to die tomorrow, is there absolutely anything you would do different? In that split second, if the slightest thought crossed your mind of, man, I would, this and that and the third, that may be a sign that you're living an unfulfilled life. And if you are, it's time to self-eval. It's time to check yourself. We can analyze sports, we can analyze music, we can analyze entertainers, we got to think about everything else. It's time to turn and mirror on yourself, analyze yourself. And again, y'all, we got to maximize our potential, because it's a gang of strangers out here waiting to do it for us. I mean, it's your life. You should run it. It rightfully belongs to you. So, but like I said, with a split second, if anything crossed your mind, get at it. We got to get to it. We got to focus up and just make the best of this existence. You're not gonna die twice. Make the best of it.
Thank you so much, Derrick Grace. Can we have you back after these books drop and you hit #1 everywhere on earth? Do you think you'll have enough time for us to come back?
Yes, always. I'm always open to politics, and I love talking to the people. I'm always down.
Thank you so much, Derrick Grace. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day today. And next time, I would love it if we could talk to the babies.
Yeah, we would. I actually had them up, but we definitely will. Next time, I'll make sure to get them.
Thank you so much. Big City 101.3 FM, Waking Up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Today, I am wearing a shirt from Coleman G. Howard. It says, I am truth, love, and compassion. Shout out to Coleman G. Howard. Shout out to our sponsor, ZC Boston, 801 Mass Ave, half price sushi on the weekend, buck a shuck for the first dozen every day in the afternoon between 5 and 9 p.m. It's a 3-mile radius for free delivery all the way up Blue Hill Ave until it intersects with Columbia Road. Free parking for lunch for 2 hours. Free parking for dinner for 3 hours. And delivery until 1 a.m. And they're open until 2 a.m. every day of the week. Face Naturals Beauty. Face with an S. Natural with an S. Beauty.com. If you are looking at these curls, I'm telling you, this is Face Naturals Beauty's hair milk. That's all this is. I have no frizz. Every curl is absolutely defined. I love it. I live by it. I don't use any other products on my hair, on my skin. Your skin is the largest organ on your body, and whatever you feed it, it will eat. And if you are feeding it nonsense, that's exactly what's going to enter into your body. So if you're looking on the back of the package and you can't read any of the ingredients on your soap, on your body wash, on your pum pum wash, on your shampoo, on your conditioner, then I think it's time to make a change. Face with an S, natural with an S, beauty.com. Do not forget the charcoal teeth whitener. She has a charcoal teeth whitener. Leave the fluoride. It's not fluorided. It's really not. Leave the fluoride toothpaste alone. Just leave it alone. Even if you just get non-fluoride toothpaste, you'll actually see a difference, not only in the way you think, but you'll see the difference in the way your teeth feel as well. Charcoal teeth whitener. Shout out to Faith. You can pick up all of her items on her website, and she gives out free samples. Do not forget Ralph's in Dorchester, across from the Dorchester Courthouse on Washington Street. The saltfish and ackee is absolutely amazing. And if you want a VIP ticket to DavidBanner, I'm sorry if you purchased yours before, but you might have to purchase another one, because Groupon does have the option for VIP. Groupon is the only place where you can get VIP for the meet and greet. And no, you can't get a refund for your first ticket. You just give it to a baby. Just give it to a child in your neighborhood. Groupon is for those that use Groupon, get to have that Groupon special, and that's the VIP meet and greet. So I do apologize that wasn't publicized first. There's a lot of people mad at me like, Tayla, I already bought my ticket, but I want to do the meet and greet. Give that ticket to a baby and go ahead and go on Groupon and get your VIP ticket. And DavidBanner tickets have been and are on sale. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you guys have an awesome day today. I am so grateful for Derrick Grace and his children. We have a lot to learn, and I can't wait until August. And depending on how things work out, I might have to battle with the kid's father, because I would love in August for them to start homeschooling. It's been something that's been on my mind before I had children, and now it's looking like it's kind of possible, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling myself. So we'll see in August 1st, when Derrick Grace drops that Unlearn, Relearn education curriculum, and we'll see how maybe possibly Boston City Public Schools can take a look at it and see what they can learn from it. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an awesome day. You know what tomorrow is? Freaky Friday.
Your family and friends a job.
Derrick Grace, what is gentrification?
Renovate and improve so that it fits in the middle class taste.
Derrick Grace, what do men do?
Protect.
What is the strongest muscle on your body?
Brain.
I want you to be what in the room?
Wisest.
Derrick, what's the most valuable thing in life?
Time.
Derrick, if you lost everything today, what you got tomorrow?
Intellectual property.
And what is intellectual property?
Can't take your possessions, but you can't take your mind.
All right, Derrick, who's who you been doing?
African-American political activist, revolutionary, who along with Bobby Seale, co-founded the Black Panther Party in 1966.
Derrick, how old are you?
4 years old.
What's 700 plus 700?
1,400.
Are y'all buyers or sellers?
Sellers.
The goal is to be what?
Independent.
Y'all gonna be what when y'all grow up?
Bosses.
But in order to do that, we gotta do what?
Create stuff.
Listen, y'all, in a nutshell, the name of the game is Unlearn and Relearn. Reprogram these children. We need more leaders. We got enough followers.
Yep, that's right, baby. You know what it is? It's DJ Sus One, the feature presentation. Listen, make sure you wake up with TaylaAndre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on 101.3 FM. Wake up with the Radio Rebel. Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. This is the type of stuff I'm into, all right? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
Jules, what are your thoughts? You wish you were homeschooled? You finna be homeschooled? Your mama finna homeschool you? I hope he has homeschooling for teenagers, because that's what I meant to ask. We got some big kids. Let me see real quick. Let me see if we can. devil one in there. So I have some more questions. We're gonna just ask them really quickly, or see if we can ask them really quickly. Oh Lord.
Hello.
Hi, Derrick. Really quick question.
Hey.
So this is TaylaAndre, and my last question I forgot to ask you on air. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I'm wondering whether or not the curriculum is going to be age appropriate for them, or is it geared towards the younger babies?
Oh no. It'll be for all ages. I have different sections that are geared towards different age demographics.
So even high school.
Yes, definitely. That's gonna be one of my biggest ones because they're the closest to adulthood. So yes.
You said he's close. How old is he?
Oh.
Yeah. How old is Derrick?
Oh no, Derrick's 7. No, I said I definitely have something for high school because they're the closest to adulthood. So those are the ones I definitely want to catch.
Okay.
You know, before they get out there into the real world.
Okay. And how do you? Are you gonna have like a session for parents that have never even looked at homeschooling before and exactly how to homeschool, and how to homeschool while working a full-time job?
Yes, definitely. Because I get that question a lot. A lot of people are trying to figure out how they can squeeze it all in. But I'm definitely gonna have a section on that as well. Because I mean, getting to the kids is one thing, but to actually get to them, you got to go through the parents first. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a section on that.
So what about homeschooling and Common Core curriculum? The homeschooling that also gives you a diploma at the end and readies you for college. Is it going to be diploma worthy? Not diploma worthy, because how much is our diploma truly worth? Like you said, if you didn't even teach me how to properly do my taxes, but you want to teach me about damn Rubik's cubes.
Right. I definitely want to, and to be honest with you, I'm actually working on that now, the balance, because I want to give them the bread and butter, but I want to give it to them on both ends, and it's kind of tough because I've actually been getting other parents getting their opinion as well, because I want to compile information from different walks of life, because my opinion on what a necessity and just has to be taught may be different from the next person. So that part I'm actually working on now, just the balance part and making sure, like, there's some people that really care about heritage. So you got some people that so much not worried about it, like, you know what, just tell me about the plight and the things my baby gonna have to deal with when he turns 30 in his day and age. So it's I'm at that specific part I'm actually working on now, just trying to find common ground to make sure everybody that's included feels like, okay, I got pertinent information from this.
Okay, thank you. And are you currently working with any school departments to see how your curriculum can be integrated, or how the school's curriculum can be integrated into yours, so that it's a balance of both?
Yeah, well, not so much schools. I'm working with a juvenile correctional facility right now down here in Tampa, and I'm going to be implementing my program within their system beginning mid-August. So I'm working with them. I've been reaching out, but school is out, but I'm going to be going a lot harder with it starting next month. But I'm going to be reaching out first to the HBCUs and then just the college realm period, trying to see how, not how, but if they will allow me, and then how we can integrate it to give them a different view of perspectives than they've been getting their whole lives.
one of my last questions that I can think of right now, as far as the recent shootings and violence, I know you said that you're bluntly honest with your children, but how do you talk about the racism in America while being honest, but still being respectful and not raising hateful children? How do you teach them about the
You know, it's funny because it's funny you ask that, because when I had my incident, like I was saying with the shooting, my daughter was there, and it bothered her for a long time that they put me in the car. And she's always telling me, I didn't hate when they put you in the car. But her grandfather was law enforcement, but he's retired now. So for her, I definitely have to troubleshoot that, because she's like, I love him and I hate him. I love him because my granddad is one of them. But they put you in that car. And to her, she's from a child's perspective, and that's my dad. She's gonna side with her dad, even though that, like I said, actually it's self-defense, but dad is never wrong. So she just couldn't understand why they would snatch me out of the car, leave her in the car by herself, handcuff me, and put me in the back of the car. So I definitely have to, especially with me and her, we have to have those conversations, because I don't want her to be hateful. But I do have to. I'm just like I said, I'm open and honest, and the things that are going on, I remind them like, hey, man, just stay out of the way of those people. Like, just keep your distance, keep them. And it's unfortunate it has to be like that, but it's just it's so much room for error. It's people that's getting pulled over for the most minute things that are not going home because they're getting killed during traffic stops. So I definitely just tell them when it comes to that, man, just stay out of the way. Let them do whatever it is they're doing on the other side of the planet, and just focus on you. Keep your circle small, and just focus on the biggest ones. Just stand out of me myself. I even practice it. Just stand out of certain places. Just being analytical. Really, that's the biggest one. Just being a thinker, and just always making sure you be on your P's and Q's. So when they do come at you, because I drive a foreign car, but I look the way I do. So a lot of times I bring attention that I may not want, but they're going to give me that attention, because they're like, who is this guy? How he don't look like he's supposed to be driving nothing like this, X, Y, Z. So, and anytime they pull me over, I got what they need. Man, get your information, go about your business. I'm going about mine.
Okay. So the battle between, law enforcement and having family having your family be in law enforcement it sounds like you struggle with that yourself.
It is a struggle. It really is, because people come to me, like right now my DMs are jumping. Speak on this. And I'm like, I definitely will speak on it. I feel like that's a responsibility as somebody who said, I want to be a leader. I'm a man of the people. You got to speak to the people and for the people. But then you get those ones like, man, we're just going to kill our cops. And then I'm like, wait, hold up. All of them are not terrible. We're just seeing a lot more of them who are terrible because we have the internet now and we have social media. So you can't kill us anymore quietly. Like, these things are going to travel. The whole world is going to know you killed us. So, and honestly, I just saw somebody else got killed last night around like midnight. Well, I saw it on my phone. The guy that got killed on Facebook Live. And again, my DMs start going crazy. And I'm like, okay, listen, first off, we have to remove our emotions from the situation and be analytical. But it really is a struggle, because I know, like, I have friends that don't know who my dad is or my family. Like, man, I hate cops and blah, blah. I'm like, wait.
My daddy's a cop.
We gotta have this conversation. Yeah, we gotta have this conversation.
So this
And they're not all terrible. I derived from a family of law enforcement. I was a dispatcher for 4 years, but I've evolved into somebody that people can, really relate to or look up to. So, I mean, that's a clear-cut sign. Like, no, they're not all terrible. It's some real ones out there.
Yeah, absolutely. This question is coming from Facebook Live. Victoria wants to know, can you ask how he balances teaching children how to love without prejudice? I have a 12-year-old son who I try to keep informed, but I feel like I'm taking away his innocence, his childhood. And his innocence, his childhood, but I also feel strongly that these conversations are necessary. So how do you balance, in a sense, and I think we kind of answered this question prior, how do you balance being honest with your kids without having them take on so much as adults, because it's a lot of pressure as an adult to feel as if you want to change the world, you want to make your contribution, but it's just like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and you don't want that for your children, but you still want to keep them informed, and it's difficult to keep them informed without having them stressed out.
Right, and it definitely is, because it's a lot to lay on them because they don't understand it a lot of times. But what was really good in my situation is they matured at a very fast rate, because I didn't believe in daycare. Not that, well, no, not so much that I didn't believe in it. I was self-employed. I was home, so I was that dad. I was like, no, I'm not gonna pay nobody to watch them. They can go work with me. So they've been out, when I was grinding 5 o'clock in the morning as, little babies, as 2, 3 years old, things of that nature. So they've seen a lot of the injustice, the imbalance, and things that's going on firsthand. And Derrick, I used to travel back and forth to South Carolina because that's where his mom was stationed originally. We've been pulled over a million times. So they've seen firsthand how sometimes, depending on your skin, you can be treated a little different. So, and like I said, with Derrick, not so much. He's open. He doesn't really have an issue with any race. Like I've seen even like when we're out in public, the little girls here try to flirt with things of that nature. Like he doesn't, at his age, he doesn't really see color. He's just like, well, at least when it comes to the girls. Now the guys are a little different. I don't know, because I didn't teach them this, so I struggle with this as a parent. They just don't have a liking when they see law enforcement. It's like, they get weird. They say certain things, and I'm like, why y'all saying it? They're like, oh, we don't want them to try to take you. Last time they put you in the car, and I'm like, listen, that is over with. That's the past. We're fine. Like, y'all don't have to. But so, it really must do it. It really is a real struggle, because then they go to their granddad house, and they're like, Papa, aren't you the police? And he's like, yeah. So for them, I do have to troubleshoot that often, because I can tell that there is some confusion in that one, because your papa is brown skinned and he's the police, but the people that put me in the car were Caucasian and the police. So we do have to have open dialogue, but like you said, you don't want to drop too much on them because they're babies at the end of the day, and that could be a lot of pressure for them. But for the most part, they interact with everyone, because even now people know their faces. They see them out, whether white, black, Hispanic, whatever the case may be, and they show the same amount of respect, and they show the same amount of love to everyone.
Thank you so much, Derrick. I don't think anybody else on Facebook has any questions, and we do not have any questions from YouTube. But we can have you back. We can have the babies back, and we can have a conversation maybe the second week of August when the curriculum drops.
Yeah, that's perfect. I actually be having another baby August 8th and another baby September 17th. So yeah, I'm sure we have a lot to talk about.
Hold on, you have another what?
I have 2 more daughters, one August 8th and one September 17th.
Let me find out you trying to create nations, Derrick. Let me. Around 41 days, I have a total of 4 kids. Oh my goodness. Derrick, are you married? Are you single?
No, I'm not married. I posted a picture last night. It'll be hard to explain who is who, but the young lady on the bottom right, that's Derrick's mom. The one on the top and the one on the bottom left. But the one on the top, that's Derrick's mom. She's pregnant with daughter number 2. That's going to be Melanin. And
Melanin? You're naming her Melanin?
Yes, ma'am. Melanin Mackenzie Grace.
Okay.
And the bottom right, she's pregnant as well. She's due September 17th.
So do you practice polyamorous relationships?
No, I knew it was coming. I've been getting that question from everybody, but no, we just sat down as adults and we had a talk and a conversation. And although the mother of Derrick, we're no longer together, she did not want to procreate with, outside of what we had already built. So that's how that came about.
I wish my baby daddy would give me a 3rd child.
Yeah, she wanted to make sure the girls had the same mom and dad.
That would be dope. let me just get some sperm. We ain't even gotta have sex. Let me just get some sperm though. I tried. That didn't work though. But Derrick, thank you so much. Again, love and appreciate you. I think you're absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for this curriculum to drop because I'm definitely gonna look into it and see how I can get an Ari and a Saria. Because I've wanted to homeschool my children since before they were born. And again, I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old. And even though I do homeschool them, it's not the same when they're getting conflicting information from school that I have to then correct and then build on top of.
Right, and that's just like, that is tough because what you're essentially doing is unlearning and relearning, but then doing more relearning because you got to break down the wall that the school built. Clear their minds of that and then impute the knowledge that you want to see. I know that's definitely got to be tough.
It's a pain in the ass, but I do it nonetheless. So I'm going to figure out how to go ahead and stay at home and homeschool them. And hopefully, how much you made? 175,000. Like I'm trying to be on your status, Derrick. You need to put out a entrepreneur's manual.
No, I am. I actually, and you know, I'm right down to this. I'm going to do the unlearn and relearn first with the kids, and the next one is going to be co-parenting, and then following.
Yes! Hold on, Derrick. You didn't even talk about that. That's a whole nother subject by itself. We can have you on for 3 hours talking about co-parenting.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like that's priority. That's one that has to be addressed, because I got too many of my partners who are like, man, I hate her. And I'm like, wow, what happened? Because we ain't together no more, and I'm like, man, we gotta
grow up. It's not about, and you said it was one of the first things you said, like, it's not about us anymore, about you winding down and taking time for yourself. You gave up time for yourself when you had children.
Right.
But I'm gonna let you go, Derrick. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you, and if we have any more questions, we'll save them for August 2nd, the second week of August.
All righty. Okay.
All right, have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye. I love today's conversation. I hope you did as well. My phone is all the way dying. So if you missed any of today's conversation, you can head back onto Facebook. You can head back onto YouTube. And I need to get back on my job as far as posting on Mixcloud. I have not been posting on Mixcloud. But do you see these motherfucking curls, son? This is Faith Natural, and they're not hard. They're soft. My hair is not wet. It is not damp. This is dry. And it's Faith Natural. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Oh, I look like a real Cape Verdean now. No. But I absolutely do love my curls. It is Faith's Naturals. It's Faith's with an S, Naturals with an S, beauty.com. And she gives out free samples if you order online. Please order online and make sure you get the teeth whitener, the charcoal teeth whitener, and make sure you come and link up with me and get some lychee martinis at ZC Boston. The best sushi in the city, the best Chinese food in the city, and it's the only place where I can eat chicken at a Chinese restaurant and no, it's not rat. Let's be honest. Mwah! Have an amazing day today.